Hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, but not just My Mom's Basement. It's From the Top Rope, presented by My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports. It is Robbie Fox. We are here with Jared Carrabis to talk Wrestlemania. Wrestlemania 42 happened over the past weekend, night one, night two. Jared, how we doing?
Commercial mania, Bob. Yeah. Order has been restored, brother. You know, I mean, I got a lot to say about this show. Not a lot of it good, but if there's one thing good that I'm going to say, it's that they went out with a bang. Roman Reigns back on top of the world. And I know what people have already said, Bob. I know people have already said this. That's not his title. Cody has Roman's title. Wrong. The most important title in the company is the one that Roman Reigns has. He makes it relevant. It's not about the lineage. It's not about who held it before. It's who's holding it right now. And Roman Reigns is holding the most relevant title, and it's only relevant because Roman Reigns is holding it.
Listen, you know I'm a Cody Bobo, but like Roman did that with the Universal Championship. I understand the game. You know, that's Roman has the title. That's kind of the title. It's also the title that main evented Sunday, night 2 of WrestleMania, which I agree with you entirely. I mean, WrestleMania had a lot that we can talk about. We will talk about being rough, being bad, mainly the commercials, the ads everywhere. They ended it on such a good note that I left WrestleMania with like a good taste in my mouth because holy fuck, that main event night 2, CM Punk Roman Reigns, it's incredible. I have no nitpick whatsoever about the night 2 main event. From the entrances, the little build up, like everything about it actually felt like WrestleMania, actually felt like a big main event. And I didn't even love the build. Like, you know, they're talking about jizz and we're talking about fathers being buried. I didn't love all that. So I would say the match even over-delivered on my expectations. I didn't think it could be that good.
If you treated night 1 like the go-home SmackDown and night 2 like it was a one-night WrestleMania, you're having a great weekend, brother. Like that, like the night 2 card was awesome. Like I know that it was almost like night 1 left such a bad taste in my mouth that going into night 2, I was almost like cynical watching the card, but then looking back on it after how great the Roman Punk match was, there was nothing worse than like a B plus on the night 2 card.
My biggest criticism would be some matches didn't have enough time. And, you know, they definitely didn't have like night 2 did a much better job with this, but it didn't have the aura of WrestleMania overall, night 1 and night 2 combined. But yeah, there's nothing bad on night 2. Certainly, like not match wise. It was just there was a few things rushed. Sami and Trick, Finn and Dom in particular. Those 2 matches, and then even the Jade and Rhea Ripley match. I kind of felt like the 3 of them, if they each had an extra 5 minutes to work and build the story out, I think they all would have been better. But they were all like good for the time they had.
Yeah, and by nature, wrestling fans are very nitpicky. I think some of the nitpickiness was fair for some of this. Like in particular, you didn't need to announce that the Demon was coming back at WrestleMania because even like on night 1, the Page return got leaked 24 hours or whatever it was before that. So whatever surprises that you had were not surprises. Like they announced the Demon beforehand. Page, everyone knew to a T, like what was going to happen. It wasn't even like Page is going to come back. It's the Bellas are going to come out. Nikki's going to step aside. Paige is going to take her play, like down to the last detail. We knew what was going to happen with that surprise. So the nitpickiness, sure, it's fair. But what I didn't agree with was night 2, the main event needing, you know, like when we were waiting for like the credits to pop up or like, is Rock going to come out to set up Rock Roman next WrestleMania? Or like, is something going to happen here? Like is Kevin Owens like behind something? It's like, no. Like this match was great. It was, they've only, I was curious last night. I was like, when, like, have we seen this match before? And it was like a 2014 Raw. We saw Roman and Punk like one-on-one, like the only time ever. I love that when you get like a WrestleMania main event that isn't like the 19th time that we've seen it on television, you know, for 2 legends to have only had a one-on-one match and it was once on a Raw 10 plus years ago. That's pretty cool. But let's start in order. Let's not start with the good because it did start off with a ton of suck.
It started off bad. Do you want to start by talking about the commercials before we get into even the first match of the card? Because
I want to start with Trista Crick, Bob. I want to start with Trista Crick because you know what? Cameron, he was making a lot of good points. You know, he comes out
talking
of
to
this,
Jey Uso.
Yeah, he comes out of this being like, you know what? Let's talk to some people that are going to be on the Sunday card because that's where it's at. The Saturday card.
When he said you're a Saturday guy, it was just like, what a funny chirp that was. The whole thing when he's like, I don't smell what the Oos is cooking. Like, that was so ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like, your dad was a legend. I don't know what happened.
And then I sent that to you, just like, we're getting a Trista Crick cameo in a WrestleMania build with Jey Uso attacking Cameron. When she jumped on top of the table and she's standing on top of the table, I wanted her to fucking drop an elbow so bad.
Yeah. Former Barstool employees had their handprints all over this WrestleMania.
So if we are talking about the lead up to WrestleMania, some people ask like, are you guys going to do a WrestleMania preview? And I wasn't like opposed to the idea of doing it, but I truly had no motivation to do it. Like there was, I want to say nothing I was excited for. And I was excited for WrestleMania as a whole, because I'll always be excited for WrestleMania. And I feel like I'll always have a little bit of optimism, a little bit of hope that they're going to, even with a bad build, turn it around and deliver a good show. But like, Oba Brock was obviously the match that a lot of people thought was built the best in the lead up. And I'm not much of a Brock guy. So even that one, I was like excited to see it, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't wait for this. I was like, there's a big ladder match. I'm sure that'll be great. There's like a couple things where I acknowledge that it could be good, but I wasn't like, it's probably the least excited I ever was for a WrestleMania in my lifetime going into it. Are you with me?
Yes. The least excited that I've ever been. By the way, the Dork Party night 2, there was 2 people that came. 2.
No.
2. Like we used to
a couple years ago at the Rumble, there was 10 people. We couldn't even we were bringing in extra chairs.
It was standing room only at the Rumble last year, not this past one, the one before. For Mania night 2, we had 2 people show up. This is
who are the 2? You got to shout them out.
Shout out to Darren. Shout out to Rich. The only like true members of the Dork Party at this point, because everyone else, I mean, I get it. You know, people have families, they have lives, and the product is complete ass. But it's WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania. Yeah.
Families,
like
lives. What are we talking about?
It's like Christmas Day. It's like, all right, like my life isn't going great right now. Maybe money's a little tight, but we're still gonna get together as a family right now. Like that's what we do. It's Christmas. And it was bad. It was real bad. It was a bad turnout, but they seemed to be right in their decision to pass after night 1. Night 1 was so disappointing. And even like, did you do you've done a Vegas Mania before, right, Bob?
Did last year. Yeah.
Okay. Like, is it just that the crowd mics are bad, or is the Vegas crowd just not good?
I thought, when I heard the response last year of people being like, the crowd sucked, in my mind, I was like, I thought the crowd was pretty good. I will say the crowd for like Cody Cena wasn't as crazy as I thought it would be last year. Knowing it's Cena's last match, he's coming in as a heel. Now, we also expected like The Rock and crazy shit to happen. But yeah, I don't know. Like the crowd wasn't amazing. We've seen much better Mania crowds, obviously. There's also something weird about the time they chose to do it, where it's like a 6 p.m. start time, which is 3 p.m. Vegas. It's over by 9:30. Like they pushed it ahead a year or an hour. Last year, it was dark for the main events, which I thought created like a cool vibe. Daytime WrestleMania is what it is. It could ruin things like entrances. But by the time you get to the main event and the sun sets and it's like, here we go, that's big. I saw a video of people leaving last night and it was still light out. They were talking about how much they liked Punk and Reigns. It's still light out. I'm sorry. That's a nitpick. That's surely a wrestling fan nitpick. It removes a lot of the aura. It does.
Yeah. Undertaker, Bray Wyatt was during the day. Like you can't have that fucking match during the day.
Dude, Sting made his debut during the day. It was like, what's happening here? That's why I wanted the Undertaker that year to come out as the American Badass. Because I was like, that would have at least made more sense.
I remember that take, by the way. I remember
the Dead Man coming out.
Yeah,
it was a good take, and the Undertaker has now become way more open to making appearances as the American Badass in retirement, which I'm happy.
Well, he retired the Undertaker. He didn't retire MAGA Mark.
He'll come out in his hoodie still to drop a fucking choke slam on The Rock.
Yeah.
All right, let's start at the beginning. We got. Night 1, the Usos and LA Knight defeated the Vision and I Show Speed via pinfall. I actually thought this was like a pretty good spot for it on the card to kick things off. You have the celebrity involvement with iShowSpeed leading up to this WrestleMania. The celebrity involvement's like the most talked about thing. I feel like this is the way to do it. I thought he was fine in this match. It was nothing special of a match, but then you get the big moment with him doing the frog splash afterwards. I was like, all right, that's a Mania moment. I'm okay with that.
The frog splash happened, and I turned to Darren and I said, that's going to be the high spot of the night. Like, they're not topping that. They did.
It kind of was, wasn't it?
They did. Yeah, no, like what else was cooler than that?
Like,
what else
Jacob
was like,
Fatu
man,
in the next match hits a cool moonsault through a table, but like nothing we haven't seen before.
I mean, that was like a soft, that wasn't even like a violent table spot. It was like he almost like he like pushed him.
Spot.
Yeah, he pushed him through the table. He didn't break the table. Yeah.
That was another one where it's like, all right, you get that match. I was fine with the way that everything unfolded. The unsanctioned match, Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, that went 14 minutes. And I know that's like a decent amount of time for them. It wasn't the most built up feud leading into it, but it didn't feel like enough time to me because the match never hit that second gear. Like unsanctioned, I'm picturing some crazy weapon spots or something. They didn't get that creative with the weapons, which I was a little bit, again, I didn't think it was a bad match. It was just kind of didn't have a WrestleMania vibe at all.
The entire night, like I didn't feel like I was watching WrestleMania until the main event of night 2. Like none of them, even like the Cody Randy match, like did not feel like WrestleMania. Maybe the Rhea Jade match felt.
I thought that had like kind of a big fight feel to it. Yeah,
that one had a big fight feel to it, and that might have been the only match that felt like that outside of the main event.
I had a couple that we can get into. Also, just again, the commercials. I realized after the very first match of night 1, when we threw to a 4-minute commercial break, I tweeted, I've already seen more commercials than I expected tonight and more than I wanted to tonight. It was the longest commercial break in WrestleMania history. I didn't realize we were getting one of those in between every single match every night. When we come back from commercial break, it's Michael Cole talking about the drumsticks or the Minute Maid and then we throw to the commentary table where someone paid to be on it. And then we throw to the Slim Jim table. And then it was excruciating to get through all of those ads. Sometimes they would just throw up a screen that says WrestleMania ad break in progress. We'll be right back. They're not even showing us real ads. Night 2, not to skip ahead, they skipped over entrances for commercials. It's fine to do on Monday Night Raw. I don't need to see Dragon Lee come out on Monday Night Raw every week or SmackDown, wherever it is. You can't do that on WrestleMania. Did you see the guy had the Dragon Wings made? He had Dragon Wings made, and they just said, oh, we're going to show you a Minute Maid commercial. That was so disrespectful to not only the fans, but the wrestlers. You're telling me he's envisioning his whole life. I'm going to be at WrestleMania one day. I'm going to be able to make my entrance. I'm getting fucking Dragon Wings made. They're going to be flapping all over the place. And then they threw to a commercial during that. There was even a great video from the stands of someone just being like, you gotta be kidding me. Commercial right now.
Which, by the way, the wrestlers pay for all their own gear. So
yes.
Yeah, whatever you saw in a entrance that didn't make it to TV, that wrestler spent thousands on whatever that was,
literally,
just for it to only be shown to the people within the stadium. But
and it truly disrupted the pace of both nights, I thought. Because even night 2, they show like a great promo package leading to Reigns and Punk, and then through to 4 minutes worth of commercials, and then through to another thing, and then a look at Street Fighter, and then it was just like, no, but you just got us excited for the match. I can't imagine being there, sitting there, being like, here we fucking go. And then it's 10 minutes till someone's making an entrance.
Yeah, that was one of my most favorite things about watching pay-per-views was like, at least like as a kid, you would watch like a friggin' awesome promo that's like, oh wow, and then it would like have like an awesome song that gets you fired up with all the highlights, and then it would go be like, and then it would shoot back into the arena, ding ding ding, the following match, like it would go right into it. It wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. It's
TKO has to figure that out. That cannot be the way WrestleMania is going forward. It just cannot be.
Sponsored by Slim Jim. Do you think that they're going to cut back on fucking ads?
And next year's in Saudi. Next year's in fucking Saudi Arabia. We're going to see the ad for Riyadh season 10,000 times next year.
That's not going to be good.
They need to figure that out. Because it also took time away from all the matches as well. Then we get the Paige surprise. Brie, Bella, and Paige became the women's tag team champs, defeating the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyria. I thought the demolition gear on Lash Legend and Nia Jax was sick. The match was just like,
looked pissed to be wearing it.
She was probably pissed that she was losing. The match was just a bridge to get Paige a nice moment. She is, yeah.
Looks great.
But it was like, the match was nothing. The moment in the end was like, it was nice to see Paige get that moment, the entrance and then the win in the end. I always loved
her hands were shaking. Like she was like,
I noticed that in the entrance.
Like trying to do like this. Yeah.
Which I think is cool to see.
That's
I think
cool.
that's real emotion at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like I like that. So
yes,
again, good moment. I did feel for Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella's injured and she has to act so happy about introducing Paige to take her spot. Like that's bittersweet.
Yeah. But the thing with Paige is like, I'm sure she has some element of, will they remember me? Like when did she leave officially? Like when was her last match? Like 2016?
I think maybe a little later, 2017 or 18, I would guess. Let's see. Paige, WWE. Saraya Beavis and Butthead. Let's see. 2018 was her retirement. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I get it. Like,
WrestleMania 34, which feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah. We were there. Were you there? No.
I was there.
35.
I was there with McAfee, actually. That was McAfee's first WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I opened a can of worms getting him into the wrestling business. No, I didn't get it. But I was there for the beginning of it.
You sure were. And yeah, I could get it. Like there's not necessarily imposter syndrome because obviously she knows she belongs. Like she's always been able to wrestle and she's great on the mic and she has the look. But will they remember me is certainly something that creeps into the back of the head of a lot of people.
Yeah. Then we got Becky Lynch defeating AJ Lee for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. I really like both of these girls, women, respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like the AJ Lee entrance. That was a little too cutesy for me with all the little girls dressed as AJ Lee. And I love the Wonder Years. They're one of my favorite bands, but my God, they did not do a great job on the lip sync. And they shouldn't have been lip syncing in the first place. They're a great live band. And the singer Soupy is amazing live. He forgot that the song opens with him saying like the man comes around. It's like halfway through. He's like, oh shit. So that it like started it off with a weird vibe for me. And it was, again, they gave these girls 8 minutes in there to do a feud that they've been building up for months. What do you expect him to do? It was a fine match. I like the finish with the exposed turnbuckle. That was good. But like they didn't have enough time to get into, again, that next gear where it was just kind of, felt like we were going through the motions a little bit. I hope this wasn't AJ's last match, by the way. People are talking like, what a run it's been, what an adventure.
Deal, didn't she?
Right? I thought it was like multi-year deal. And now at the time, I think the reporting also said full time, which obviously isn't the case. But like, there's no way she came back to just do a bunch of matches with Becky and like one with Bayley, right?
Nah. Yeah, I think it was a multi-year deal. What I didn't like about this match was that it was almost like Becky and what's her name? Jessica, the referee?
The ref, Jessica Carr, yeah.
Jessica Carr, yeah. It was almost like the build to this match was more between them than it was AJ.
A little bit. And they did the push spot. I kind of like the push spot.
Like Cody and fucking McAfee was a better build than Cody and Randy. And we had Becky and Jessica Carr was a better build than Becky and AJ Lee. Yeah, I don't know. Did you see the video of Punk last night, by the way?
I did. Slapping a phone out of someone's hand. And I don't blame him. Listen, I know it's not nice to slap phones out of people's hands or whatever. The videos of the fans at the MGM were insane. And I've been in that hotel. I've stayed in that hotel a ton. You do have to walk through a decent amount of the casino to get to the rooms. By the elevators where the rooms are, there should have been tons of security because fans just camped out. And it was like, there was the video of Randy Orton getting swarmed. It was insane. Like absolute L on WWE and MGM security for that one. Because Randy Orton's one thing. CM Punk's another thing. Someone like Bayley or AJ Lee, they're trying to walk through the casino alone with fucking creepy wrestling fans everywhere. You got to figure that out. You have to.
Yeah, that's a huge miss, especially in this.
I'm out on the people out on Punk for that.
Yeah.
Did you see the video, by the way, I meant to mention it when we talked about the tag match, Ric Flair. Please tell me you saw the Ric Flair video.
I did. Yeah. He was like at a bar watching it. And then like Charlotte came out and he started crying. I almost thought it was fake. I
did too. The tweet said it looks like it was filmed like The Office. It's true. It looked like something out of The Office.
Yeah. Yeah. The video starts on the TV. Charlotte Flair comes out and then the camera just pans to Rick and he's bawling. It's like, how is he not
why wasn't
there?
he there? I know. I agree. I know he's got a weird relationship with WWE. Sometimes it's back and forth. I think with Charlotte, it's been back and forth. But like, why wouldn't he just be backstage? That was weird to me as well.
Yeah. Very strange.
Seth Rollins versus Gunther. So this was a weird one because it had no build. It was just they realized two of their top guys didn't really have a direction for Mania, so they threw them together. And it's strange to be able to put Seth Rollins and Gunther in a WrestleMania match and have nobody excited. But like people weren't really that excited. And everyone knew, I think, that this has the potential of being a really good match. I thought this was easily match of the weekend until the night 2 main event. I thought it was really, really good. Had the fuck finish with Braun. Kind of expected that because neither Seth nor Gunther should have been losing clean at WrestleMania. They're both in spots where it's like you got to build them up.
Yeah.
The fuck finish is what it is. Didn't take away from the match for me. The spear afterwards, the run down the ramp spear, that was one of his worst ever. I don't know what the timing, the aim, the sell. I don't know what went wrong there, but that should have been the exclamation point, the stamp on "oh fuck," and it was like, oh, he almost hit him.
Yeah, he barely nicked him there.
He grazed him.
here's where I'm at on this, Bob. Right. So originally, it was supposed to be Gunther versus Rey Mysterio. And Gunther was
that was the word.
Retire Rey, and then Rey faked an injury because he didn't want to retire. And
if that's the case, I respect the hell out of it.
This is all real. My sources are telling me Rey faked an injury so that he didn't have to retire because I think he wants Dom to retire him. Which, if that's true, I get it. Like, yeah, fuck it. This guy's
not everybody has to be retired by Gunther.
No, yeah, it's like all right.
This should be everyone's last match.
People, but like I'm Rey Mysterio. I'm a Hall of Famer. I want to give that rub to my son. That's going to mean way more to him being able to do it than being another notch for Gunther. So I'm good.
Preach.
And then Braun Breaker comes out and spears Seth Rollins at the end of the match. So correct me if I'm wrong, but we had a fucking Gunther versus Seth Rollins match. Because Rey Mysterio couldn't go, but he was in the fucking ladder match, and Braun Breaker couldn't go, but he fucking came out and speared Seth Rollins. So why couldn't we just have Gunther and Rey, but Rey wins or something like that? Or fucking cool. Seth and Braun Breaker? Like what the fuck?
I actually like that idea of building it up like it's Rey's last match and making it seem like it's obvious and having Rey do, the media runs being like, who knows? And then have him win. That would have been sick.
Yeah,
but again, I guess you don't want Gunther to lose right after he gets the rub from retiring Cena and everything. He does kind of have to go on this monster run.
Have a fucking angle where they were all there. Like you can have Rey versus Gunther. If Gunther wins, then Rey retires. Have fucking Cena and AJ Styles and Bill Goldberg, have them come out and be the fucking
not a bad idea, Rocket. Not a bad idea. Yeah.
WrestleMania.
I also do think it's funny. I've seen all the tweets of people being like, Rey said he couldn't go, and then he said he could go, so Randy Orton had to put him on the card, and then he did some of the craziest spots in the whole ladder match.
He wasn't hurt. He was not hurt. He just didn't want to retire.
And it should be Dom that retires Rey. Let's be honest. Nobody should retire Rey except Dom. It should be a hair versus mask match, luchador style, and you have Rey fucking unmaxed in the ring. That could be the way Dominic turns face eventually, and then you could send him on a stratospheric run.
Mm-hmm.
Up next on the card was Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer. Liv Morgan defeated her via pinfall. This match was built up pretty well, actually. Like, it seemed like there was real hatred there. Liv's got the fucking bump on her forehead from Stephanie going after. Stephanie saying you're a better singer than wrestler. Felt like they had something. Rocket, they gave him 7 minutes. They had 7 minutes to go in there and have the culmination of their storyline. And again, they did a good job with what they were given. They did the first ever kick out of the Oblivion. They did a great spot in the end where she hit that top rope code breaker into the Oblivion. Real smooth, real slick. It was just, how do you get excited for a match and into all the false finishes when it's only 7 minutes long?
Well, in fairness, I mean, Liv probably had a concussion, and
They were saying they were both possibly banged up going into that match. Yeah,
had to be. I mean, you
yeah.
don't get a fucking egg on your head that big that lasts for 2 weeks, and your eyes are still black and blue, and be like, I'm good. Like this is yeah. Like there's definitely some scrambled brains going on there.
And I love Liv. I didn't love the entrance. You know,
Yeah.
she's got her new song. My issue with a lot of the entrances, if they featured extras or dancers or whoever, they didn't have a lot of them. And they didn't have like any set pieces that came onto the WrestleMania stage. It felt very minimal from that. Like, I don't want to say cheap, but some of it felt a little cheap to me, the entrance wise. Night 2 did better than night 1 with entrances. But like, again, it's maybe a nitpick wrestling fan thing. Maybe some people are like, I don't care about the entrances. I think like big entrances are part of the charm of WrestleMania. What's made it like fun to watch over the years. Triple H has put on 100 cool entrances that are super memorable. I don't think there was a ton that were super memorable from this year.
I would happen to agree with you. I know we texted about CM Punk's entrance. I didn't.
Awesome.
Yeah, like
you didn't like it?
No. I didn't. What I didn't like was the awkward pause silence.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because like if you're
I don't know why they didn't just hit Cult of Personality there.
Yeah, I think once we didn't even mention this yet. Once Roman went back to his old theme, and then Punk had like his Ring of Honor theme, I thought that there would be some sort of like this fire burns, and then you can still like land on Cult of Personality, but like the awkward pause, I was waiting for like the oh shit, but it was just like Cult of Personality.
Yeah. Maybe I'm an idiot for this. There was truly a moment where I was like, did the power like go out? Like, is Punk just like winging this? Cause he's like, I'm out here. I guess I just got to walk to the ring in silence. Like it wasn't like, this is cool. It was like, what's happening? Is something going wrong right now? Yeah. And then he did the, it's clobber time with the mic and that hit. And like from that moment on, it was once again cool. But yeah, I thought the choice to do, maybe that was a Triple H thing when he's like, we're making movies here. I could see that. I mean, we're going to go silent and everyone's going to be holding their breath until we hit that music, brother. But the lead up of that with the clips spliced in with the AFI behind it, through his whole career, that was sick. Him on top of the Allegiant Stadium. What a great shot that was. Cool. In the, the Ring of Honor type quarter zip type thing, zipped up all the way. Just sick.
There's a TikTok
and then the main event,
the Las Vegas TikTok account that has a bunch of behind the scenes from that shoot.
Oh, cool. I saw that of them like on the roof figuring out the drone shot with the stand-ins and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah.
And then we got the main event, night 1, which again, it feels crazy that we went like straight to the main event because it never truly felt like WrestleMania up to this point. We get Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. And the whole thing's been about McAfee. The whole feud's been about McAfee. Not everyone's favorite, considering the 20 years of history between the two of them. Cody's gone out and been like worst received angle in wrestling history. He's saying this before WrestleMania. Like the way he's selling WrestleMania is like, yeah, everyone fucking hates this, so we're going to give it a shot. I did like that he was like, listen, if you're a Cody Rhodes fan at WrestleMania, we did it with The Rock. We did it with Travis Scott. We're doing it with McAfee. You got to put your head down, get through it. They made an interesting choice to take McAfee and Jelly Roll out of the equation before the match began. I go back and forth on this because I'm like, good choice in terms of like, I didn't want them a part of it. At the same time, the whole feud was about McAfee. So it was almost weird to remove him and then try to forget about that while they wrestle a normal match. Do you feel the same way? It almost feels like they half-assed 2 things instead of whole ass in one thing and maybe satisfied nobody in the process.
So the thing about WWE, especially recently, is when you see something that you think is stupid, it used to be like during the Bloodline era, it would be like everything has a purpose. Like wait until they land this plane. Like you think this is stupid, but you're gonna have your mind blown.
We're only in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, when the big reveal happens, you're gonna be like, man, how did I not see it? Now when they do dumb shit, it's just actually dumb shit. There's no payoff, there's no explanation, there's no logic. This pretty much started with like the Cena turn where they're like, this is about to be cinema. And it's like, no, this is about to be ass. Months.
And Travis Scott, that was like an obvious, like, oh, what's Travis Scott doing? And the answer is like, he's just being here for clicks, basically. He's just Travis Scott to be Travis Scott. Yeah.
They were trying to do Dennis Rodman NWO 2.0, and it's like, this is not that. And like,
Jelly Roll ain't Dennis Rodman, brother.
No. And like, I feel bad for McAfee because like, I know he genuinely loves the wrestling business and like just wrestling in general. And if I were Pat and I've had the meteoric rise that his career has had, and TKO comes to me and they're like, Pat, listen, the main event of WrestleMania, night 2, it's going to be all about you. And I'd be like, or night 1, excuse me.
Awesome. Yeah.
Either way, I'd be like, dude, do you think I'm going to be like, that doesn't make sense, TKO. I'm going to sit this one out. You know, like,
and also it's not just TKO being like, we want you to part of it. They're like, and here's the giant fat check we're giving you to do it. And it's like, well, right, no brainer. And he cuts a good promo. He really does. Like, Pat has always cut a good promo. Yes. It just felt like it wasn't the time and place.
It didn't make sense.
There was no one in his position, a celebrity, that we would have welcomed into the main event, especially when it's Randy's been looking at that fucking title on Cody's shoulder for years. It's not even 20 years of history between them.
Yeah, if they went Jinder Mahal there, what? If they interjected Jinder Mahal into that feud, it would have made sense, and it probably would have put the whole night 1 over the top, and people would have looked back and been like, that was a success. But they went with Pat, and people hated it, and I felt really bad the whole time because I was like, I know this has to be eating him alive, that like he's the reason why. It's like, we're not booing you. We're booing the idea that TKO TKO thinks that this was the right decision, you know?
And a lot of people said night 1 felt like the TKO WrestleMania. Night 2 kind of felt like Triple H took the reins back.
Yeah. Although, like, I wouldn't be so quick to just credit Triple H with the good stuff and shame TKO for the bad stuff. Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's how I'm choosing to digest my WrestleMania experience, is that night 1 was the go home SmackDown and night 2 was the real WrestleMania. Even though, like I said, it probably took me until like the Rhea Jade match to feel like it was WrestleMania. I thought, and not that we're skipping ahead, because all right, let's not skip ahead to night 2. I was
going to say the match itself between Cody and Randy, I thought was like very confusing. Yes, but it started building towards an interesting direction where halfway through the match, I'm like, holy fuck, are they doing a double turn here? Like, Cody's wrestling like a heel. Randy's they're playing up the back injury, which we know is kind of a real thing, or at least it was reported leading up to it. And it's like, Cody's got the advantage of the whole match. It's not like babyface needs to build up and fire up. It's like he's dropping Randy on his back over and over again. He's got that look in his eyes where it's like he's pulling out the dastardly side of himself, almost like we saw against Kevin Owens in their ladder match at the Rumble a few years ago. And I was like, I think they might be pulling the trigger on a fucking double turn here, which is very interesting. And then Pat McAfee came back out. Randy Orton RKO'd him. And I was again like, all right, he doesn't want Pat's help, so he's a face now. And then Cody just won, and Randy attacked him afterwards. So it's a wash, and we're right back where we started. Like, what was that?
I don't think they know, Bob. I don't
think it was so weird. Like, it's confusing. Like, why would they work the match like that if Randy was gonna, and like, I'm fine. Randy hits the punt and everything. I almost feel like that should have just been the ending of the match at that point. Randy should have kicked out of that crossroads, got up, did something fucking mean to Cody, and then hit the punt to win 1, 2, 3. It was just weird. Again, it felt like an ending to SmackDown. Like you said, like the go home should have SmackDown. Randy raising the title. Like, you used your WrestleMania main event to set up Backlash?
Or SummerSlam.
Yeah, like, and Pat's saying I'm out of the wrestling business for good. We had heard the reports that they wanted to do a tag match at Backlash of Randy and Pat, Cody and Jelly Roll. I kind of feel like they might still do that.
Even after the RKO?
I guess that's a good point. Probably not then.
That doesn't make sense.
Maybe Pat's really out. No, that's true. I didn't even think about the RKO. That was already out of my brain. Confusing. It was just, and again, like, not a bad match if they were going in the double turn direction. That would have been really interesting, I think. But it was just like, did they do that ending with Randy? Because they feel like night one has to have this like cliffhanger, like how they won, Roman and Rock won at WrestleMania 40. And then the next year it was the crazy Heyman Seth twist. Do they think like, let's end night one with something where it makes people go, what? And gets people talking. So then they tune in for night two. I don't know.
The only way that works is if night one bleeds into night two, but it was just like, you had the cliffhanger.
It was barely referenced night two. Yeah.
It had nothing to do with night two by that point. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it. I was confused. I was like, why is Randy wrestling like a baby face, like getting sympathy for his injuries? And like, why is I get it from like a strategic standpoint. Like, why is Cody working like the hurt area?
Why do you RKO Pat? If he was just, was that like he was mad that Pat didn't like hit a fast count for him or something? Like,
and it's like,
why was Pat? Why did Pat have a referee shirt?
Another one of these. Yeah,
like Pat. And Pat signed that contract with Adam Pearce, and it almost seemed like Adam Pearce smiled, almost like I got one over on you. And then he had the authority to be a ref in that match.
Well, we don't know.
And commentary didn't seem to know, I guess. But commentary was almost like, oh, he must have the TKO, like extra treatment or whatever. And I was like, I don't know, like tell the commentators beforehand, this is how to sell it, where it's like, oh, well, we found out from Ari Emanuel that, give us some reason. It was just like, I don't know, he's the ref now because he put on a striped t-shirt.
It's been like this for a while, Bob, where
yeah,
things are like the writers and the decision makers are bringing to the forefront of any storyline a timeline of events or details within the story that don't make sense in real time and that they do not bother to explain after the fact. It's kind of just like
they just hope you forget.
Yeah, they're just
which is honestly Vince era shit. Like that's what Vince did all the time, where it was like, let's not acknowledge the past. Yeah.
Yeah, like that didn't make sense, or like that didn't age well. Let's never reference that again. Pretend it didn't happen. Like, let's never include that in a video package for the rest of eternity.
Bad. Yeah. So night one ends on a rough note, where again, nothing was a abysmal train wreck, but you end on a confusing main event, and everything before it was just didn't really get going to a degree. So I said night one was maybe like a C- WrestleMania, and that might even be generous.
I think that's generous. I thought it was like a D-. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no part of it. Like I will never rewatch any part of night one.
That's a great point, man. Maybe Seth and Gunther, but like, it was a great match, but it's not a match where I'm like, I got to go rewatch. They even punked Roman last night. I'm like, I got to rewatch that. That was awesome.
Yeah. Like there's no part of like the rebuild. Like there was nothing. There was no build to the Seth and Gunther match. So it's like, oh, remember that like heated rivalry? Oh yeah, you got to watch the payoff.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a match. It was just a match.
And zero backstage segments really annoyed me. Like, I know that's, again, it's not what people tune into WrestleMania for, but that's like a fun thing. You go backstage and you see fucking X-Pac and Scott Hall back in the day and him with Zack Ryder. Like, they did fun things with legends. I said, how do you not call Ron Simmons up and have him do something fucking stupid with Danhausen? I said, there's a Danhausen joke in there somewhere where it's like, they didn't do any of that, even the Cena stuff, which respect to Cena, I understand he probably came out with the idea, I'm going to be as short, as sweet as possible. The boys are already getting their time cut today, so I'm not going to take any more of it away. But if you go in with that mindset, it feels like more of a waste of time to go out there because it was just like nothing wallpaper segments they could have had anyone do.
Yeah.
And congrats to Bianca. Like that was nice. Yeah, I thought a funny bit to add one to the attendance because Bianca was pregnant. I was like, all right, that was funny. Did you see the Capital One on her belly? Someone photoshopped.
No,
like they should put an ad on her belly.
No, I did see that like Bleacher Report graded every match and then like segments. So like obviously like the Cena Danhausen segment got graded. And then on night one, they graded the pregnancy announcement. I was like, I don't know that we need to slap.
You don't have to grade that. Bleacher Report. You didn't need to do that. Yeah. So night two, they had their work cut out for them. Backs against the wall. They open up with Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. 4 minutes, 46 seconds. But this is one where I will not fault them for the short runtime. I went into this saying, I hope it's kind of like Brock and Goldberg at WrestleMania, which was another one that I think was about the exact same time, where
at
it was
20?
just a sprint. At no, that one is horrendous and long. At 33 in Orlando.
Okay.
It was great. It was just spear, jackhammer, suplex, run through the barricade. And that's kind of what they did here. In the words of Big E, it was just big, meaty men slapping meat. And they absolutely beat the shit out of each other for a few minutes. And then Obafemi went over huge, which I was worried that Brock wasn't going to put him over after how much he put him over in the lead up. But nope, Brock went out on his shield, on his sword, whatever the phrase is, looking up at the lights. And then he took the gloves off, took the boots off, left him in the ring, which really did surprise me because I thought he would have one more at SummerSlam against Gunther, however you say his fucking name, because it's in Minneapolis as well. That seemed like the fitting place to retire, but I'm not mad at it at all. As I've said, I'm not a Brock guy. I feel like he overstayed his welcome. I think this Oba feud was really one of the only memorable feuds and well-received feuds he's had in like 5 to 10 years. I know he ended the Cody one was good. No, I'll give you that. The Cody one was good. And the way they ended the Roman one was good, where he had the fucking tractor lift up the ring or whatever. But there was just so much Brock stuff in the past 10 years that dragged on that felt like it was the exact same structure of every single match. There was a lot of people I thought he should have put over that he didn't. Kofi, Ambrose, Lashley, like the list goes on of people that I thought could have gotten a rub from Brock that he refused. And I tweeted afterwards, I was like, spare me the fucking thank you Lesnar chants. And people were livid, Jared. I almost got ratioed. I think I got like 500 replies on one tweet, which is pretty rare for me. And I didn't say this. I didn't say this because I said, I'll let all the Brock Bobos have their moment tonight. I'll let them have their moment in the sun. There goes a great and legendary career. I won't take that away from him. But I said, in my mind, I said, in lieu of flowers, you should send Brock some videos of yourself just pissing. I think he likes that more.
No, Bob. You're disrespecting Brock.
I think he likes that. He likes that. Brock loves piss.
He might. You know who hates him? Mark Marrow.
Does he?
Yeah. I believe he was married to Sable at the time that they started canoodling.
Oh, really?
It was like a Edge
like
Matt
Brock
Hardy
steals your girl.
situation.
What are you gonna do?
I want to say Mark Marrow told a story about how like he went through Sable's phone and listened to a voicemail and was like, who's this? What would you do, Bob? Right? Like you go through the voicemails and you hear a dude being like, I love you. Can't wait to see you again. You're like, who the fuck is this? And they're like, Brock Lesnar. You're like, all right, never mind. Like,
all good, man.
What do you do?
Have fun.
Like, like what the fuck? Especially in 2002 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Like that's the one answer where it's like, who the fuck is that leaving you voicemails like that? And they're like, oh, that's Brock Lesnar. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, that was John Jones. Here you go. Like, no. All right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I don't know. Just, I'm not going to miss Brock at all. They were probably 5 years ago. I was like, if I've seen the last Brock Lesnar match, I'm fine. And then ever since he came back, I guess the Oba feud again, I'll give him credit there, was fun, entertaining the whole time. But just like the Cena shit, the way he went about his business the last 10 years, I hate it.
Do you think that was Brock that refused to put Cena over? Or do you think that Cena was like, if I'm gonna lose here and there, that it would make sense?
I think that was like a Triple H idea for some reason, where he thought that would be smart. It was such a waste of a spot on Cena's retirement tour. There's so many people I would have rather seen him there.
It was just
is there a chance Brock isn't retiring?
Yes. I like
there's a chance that Gunther has the favor, right, with Heyman, where he could be like, I'm cashing in my favor. I want him to have one more match.
Heyman has said, I think it was TMZ. He did an interview and said, I don't know why everyone's saying that Brock's retired. It's like, oh, because he took his fucking gloves and his boots off in the middle of the ring and waved goodbye, and you were sobbing holding up his hand. I think that's why people are jumping to the conclusion.
Heyman's just working TMZ, trying to get him to watch Raw tonight.
I guess, but if there's any payoff to him not actually being retired, I think it's very obvious that it's going to be SummerSlam in Minneapolis.
Yeah. And by the way, we are recording this at like 5:30 on Monday, so it's pre-Raw. Maybe some crazy shit happens by the time you listen to this, and you're like, "Why aren't you covering that?" It's because it hasn't happened for us in real life.
Hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
We got the 6-pack ladder match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Penta successfully defended the title against Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, JD McDonough, Rusev, and Rey Mysterio. This was fucking awesome, just like everyone knew it would be. You put 6 guys, the right 6 guys, in a ladder match at WrestleMania, they're going to deliver every time. I think it should be a staple and a tradition where we do a 6-pack ladder match every WrestleMania. And I don't really care if it's for the IC title, the US title, a Money in the Bank, a tag team titles, whatever it may be. Looking forward to the Money in the Bank match every year at WrestleMania was like something as a kid that would be one of the highlights every time. And then it got removed. They did its own pay-per-view, and that's great. But you lost like that and the streak, which were like 2 things you could always count on for WrestleMania. I just think you gotta make this a thing. And I know most WrestleManias, they'll throw in a fun ladder match, but like make it a WrestleMania tradition. Actually put it in concrete.
Yeah. I took issue with this match, Bob.
This match? What could you possibly take issue with? High spots, craziness, through ladders, through tables. Out of
anyone that it made the most sense to be like, this guy's going over tonight, and here's why. Javon Evans was
Javon, for sure. He was the guy. Like, he should have had his Mania moment, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Penta was in a 4-way for the IC title last year, lost to Dom. Maybe they're like, we want to give Penta his big moment at WrestleMania. Like, I wasn't mad at Penta winning. I love Penta, but I do agree with you. Javon was the right call.
Did Penta have a moment, or did he just win?
No, he had a moment. I mean, he had a moment.
He just won.
The Mexican Destroyer through the fucking, or not through the ladder, but on top of the ladder to JD McDonough was insane.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. I've seen it. I saw
it. Javon did crazy shit too. Javon with the cutter to Rusev, the crazy clothesline, almost Shelton Benjamin style. It reminded me of like an updated version of that famous one, which looking back, it's so funny that Shelton running up the ladder and hitting a clothesline was like the high spot of all high spots back then. And then you've got like Javon Evans and Dragon Lee and fucking everyone in this match doing shit that you couldn't even imagine back then.
I saw a tweet being like, in kayfabe, Rusev has to be the dumbest person in wrestling for jumping off a ladder into a cutter. Like, what was the logic?
In non-kayfabe, he did a good job of making sure that connected, because I don't know if Javon was going to make it all the way there.
Yeah, kind of like the fucking 1D on night 1 that just was like, it was like a flapjack with Jimmy just diving face first into the mat.
Yeah,
what the fuck are we doing?
Great.
No,
that wasn't great. Then Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. Again, mentioned this before, just being a match that didn't have enough time. 7 minutes wasn't enough time for this. It was good, and Sami Zayn always delivers at Mania. The little Yachty involvement, I was totally fine with. I think it was a very small amount of involvement. I love Trick's entrance with the crazy, people are calling it the CVS receipt, the fucking tail that he had coming out behind him. Like, that was all good. Trick gets his moment. It was the ending that the crowd wanted for sure. So I was happy with it.
Love the finish with Trick's family at ringside. That was very cool. Mm-hmm. I will say this about the Sami Zayn reaction, what he's been getting from the crowds. They're booing the shit out of him, and they hate him as a babyface, and they've completely turned on him. I think that, like, all right, if you want to say that you're bored of like a stale character, like you keep saying you're the underdog, like that's your whole thing. It makes me uncomfortable when crowds completely reject him, because his work in the Bloodline storyline was so elite, where it's like, this guy doesn't get any leeway with the crowd. Like, he was like, the Bloodline storyline was stale. It was the same shit over and over and over again. And then Sammy brought in it, like Sammy elevated it to where it got to its peak. Like, it peaked with Sammy because of Sammy's involvement in it. So, like, am I the biggest Sami Zayn fan in the world? No. Would I buy his merch?
I might be.
You love Sammy.
I'm with you, like, though. You're preaching to the choir. Like,
I love him for
my stuff, the
like
conspiracy theory stuff.
Like, the Bloodline storyline is probably my 1B to Undertaker and Kane 1A. In terms of like long time storytelling, like the most engaged I've been, like the most like raw emotion that has been generated inside of me from a wrestling storyline. And we don't get there with the Bloodline story. if Sami isn't as awesome as he was during that.
Yeah.
So like, say that you think the character is stale or that he, you want something different from him, but the fans just outright being like, fuck you, like you suck. Like, I don't like that.
Sammy Hogan, like I do not understand it. And I know I'm coming at it from the perspective of a massive Sami Zayn fan, but like, look at this guy's body of work. Take the bloodline out of it. Look at his WrestleMania matches over the years. Look at his matches with Kevin Owens. Look at his fucking match with Johnny Knoxville. This is a guy that can do anything and make a decent match or even sometimes a great match out of it. You can give him a broom and he'll figure out how to work the broom. It's such a strange, like, when did they flip? It was just on a dime. They were like, all right, we're over Sammy now. We want him out. And it's like,
it was when he started giving like the underdog speeches again. Like his promos were like, I'm the underdog, yada, yada. And you know what I would do, Bob?
Like,
you know
Trick
how
is the shiny new toy.
Trick is awesome. Yeah, it doesn't help that he's going up against like someone that's super over right now. You know what I would do with Sami Zayn right now, Bob?
What? Put him back in the bloodline?
Nope. I would look at what Chad Gable and Kaiser have done to rejuvenate their careers, and I go get El Generico out of the closet. And I mean, that, like, they're super over in AAA. Like, they're baby faces in AAA.
Their brawls, oh my god, they're amazing.
They're baby faces in AAA, and then they're heels on the main roster here. If you want to interject El Generico into that and be like,
he's like, I was the original Mexican.
Yes, like the story is right fucking there. Like if there's gonna be a white dude that is a luchador, it's gonna be me.
I love that. You're cooking this episode. You're having some real good ideas. I want you in that creative room.
Creativity. Yep. Hire me.
I like that a lot. Then we get the Demon versus Dominic, another one we talked about before. They made this a street fight the day of.
And I started calling my girlfriend the Demon. I was like, yeah, whenever she puts the makeup on, that's when you know you're getting the demon. Yeah.
I'm sure she loves that.
I don't think she has any idea. Like, she doesn't get the reference. So, like, but all my friends that love wrestling, they'll be like, yeah, ask her if she wants to go to dinner. I was like, oh, so you want the demon? I was like, I don't know.
The entrance, unfortunately, was a bit ruined by the daytime, I thought. Like, the Demon, you want it to be dark where you barely even see him as he's walking out. And he's like poking the little heart guy they had in the middle. That was another thing where I was like, I don't know, give us a little more than like a little heart prop.
Dude, you know what we fucking skipped over entirely?
What?
Seth Rollins' entrance. With the eyes and the smoke.
The eyes were cool. The smoke was cool. But like, again, that was one thing where I was like, last year his entrance was awesome with the flamethrower, the outfit change, the blackout music. This year I was like, he's got a jacket that smokes. And his eyes look like Wes Borland, as you told me.
I did, yeah. I texted Bob. I was like, Wes Borland looking ass. Yeah, I thought it was cool though. I thought it was cool that he just like turned around and turned back and they were gone.
Yeah, which I was thinking, there's no way he's gonna wrestle in those, right? Because I think the full eye contacts people have talked about wearing them for movies are like pretty uncomfortable on your eyes. Yeah. Demon and Dom. I love both of these guys. It was fine. Pretty good, I would say, but nothing more than that. Another one where like they did it a street fight and there wasn't much like craziness or creativity with the weapons. It was a lot of stuff we've seen before. This match could have, if you take the Demon out of it and said this match was on Raw, I'd believe you.
I would say the most predictable match on the entire card because Finn had done so much losing and there was so much backlash to the Demon losing to Roman that it's like the Demon can't, like, it makes it like if the Demon loses this match, then the don't ever fucking
retire
with some Demon shit ever again. I think it would have been honestly more interesting if it was just Finn. If it was Finn versus Dom, then there's you at least have the illusion that Dom could still win that match. But the second that they ruin the surprise with the Demon being the character for this and the fact that they were going with it, I was like, like they're not going to have the Demon.
It's not cool to be like, and they did it in NXT to a degree too, to be like the Demon's coming this time. Like, I don't like when it's ever announced. Like, it should just be like, holy fuck, he's coming out, and it like the music hits, and you realize like, oh, wait a minute, this is the demon version of the music. Like, here we go, the fucking heartbeat with the red lighting or whatever. I thought Dom had a cool entrance to this one, King of the Luchadors entrance, him coming out on the like Aztec throne. I liked that. And Finn, people think he came out with like he was holding like a demon fucking pickaxe, basically. And everyone's like, oh, that's a Fortnite pickaxe. He's going to probably be the next character added to Fortnite. And there's probably some sort of tie-in because everyone in Fortnite gets their own pickaxe. It's like themed to them. So that might have been a little sneaky Fortnite tie-in in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Rhea and Jade. This one I thought had a great finish. The Jaded into the what's her fucking finisher name? Not the End of Days. That's the other one. The Riptide. That was great.
The End of Days. Isn't that Baron Corbin?
I think it was. Yeah. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to mind. But really smooth finish where it was like she was about to get hit and then like pulled her through, came out the other side and just fucking hit it. That was cool. I also thought Rhea had cool gear. It was like the Insane Asylum white gear. I was like, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, so the Dork Party wasn't big on the white gear, but I like a once in a while opposite end of the spectrum change. Like when Seth Rollins did the white pants at SummerSlam with the white vest, I was like, yeah, like he's always wearing black. This looks pretty cool wearing white. And Rhea, I can't recall her ever wearing white.
I was thinking, has she done it for Mania before? Like, I don't think she has the last couple of years, but I was thinking back to her match against
Australia.
Becky
I was thinking, what was that? Backlash or no? It was some pay-per-view.
Australia.
Maybe
she has. Okay, I'm looking it up. She has worn white before, I believe. Backlash 2023. She wore white, and it looked pretty sick.
Is that the one in Australia?
Let's see. Backlash 2023.
Backlash.
Oh no, that was Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That was the awesome Bad Bunny entrance. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the main event, night 2, Roman Reigns defeats CM Punk via pinfall. Awesome. There's not enough I could say about this match where it's just glowing praise the entire time. They wrestled like two guys in the main event of WrestleMania that would do anything it took to win. It felt like a war. It felt like they were both desperate. They did smart things like people are pointing out on Twitter already. When Roman does the first ooh-ah and he gets hit with the knee in the corner, he does the second ooh-ah on the outside while he's looking over his shoulder at Punk like, I better fucking make sure I don't get got again here. The stuff on the outside was awesome. Punk sending him through the table looked like it was brutal. It looked like a tough bump for the two of them to take. Punk playing a little dirty, throwing the wrist tape at him. I thought that was great as well, where it wasn't a heel turn, but you could tell it was just Punk's willing to do whatever it takes again to win this match. The blade job was great. People were calling Punk a smart worker, letting all of the blood rush to his head while he was upside down. And then he fucking did that weird blade job that he always does, the poke blade job.
Yeah.
And a great finish. Not a great call by Michael Cole. And I love Michael Cole. I'm a Michael Cole defender a lot of the time. But it wasn't like a WrestleMania ending call. It was like, is it? It is. I'm like, come on, give me a little more than that, Michael Cole. Roman Reigns just fucking beat CM Punk in the main event of WrestleMania, one of the biggest matches you could ever put on at this point. Give me a little passion. Give me a little energy. I don't know.
What I loved about this match, Bob, and I know that you maybe you'll agree with this because you are a wrestling historian yourself. I loved that it was almost like they both started the match as baby faces. This was, like Roman is still, he's more of like a tweener. There's not like a ton different about his tribal chief character. Obviously he's more of a baby face now. But they wrestled as heels. They both were doing heel shit. Both of them. Like between like the low blows, the taunting, like Roman, like when's the last time Roman had a match where he was like talking shit like during the match? He's got like it reminded me of like the Edge match when he's got like the headlock. My arm is extra big. like he was doing stuff like that during the match, and Punk obviously with the tape and the low blow, and I thought it was awesome because I know like people like WrestleMania, like I remember like when Austin turned heel and or when The Rock turns heel, people are like looking for that like holy shit, I can't believe it moment. Whereas like I think we're at this stage in professional wrestling where you don't have to necessarily become a bad guy. You can just be like, all right, we're all adults here. You know that like I'm a good guy right now, but I've done bad guy shit and I can do bad guy shit right now. And we're in this feud where we have this almost like a mutual agreement where I can do bad guy shit, but that doesn't make me a bad guy. Like we're just
we both said bad things.
Yeah. Keep my fucking name out your mouth.
That was the best promo we cut. The social media one I thought was the best promo of the whole feud. Where I was like, why didn't they do that on Raw? That was so good. That was weird too. I love Punk. As a promo guy, he's one of the best. I thought it was so strange that his promo leading into WrestleMania was like an apology over the dad stuff. It was like, what are we doing right now? You're building up the match for Sunday. Leave that for afterwards. Hey, I'm sorry I invoked your dad's name. Respect, some shit like that. There was just something weird about that to me. I'm glad Roman won though, because I do feel like Roman needed this because he's kind of been floating. Like, I don't want to say the man in the island of relevancy was starting to go towards irrelevancy, but like the Bronson Reed feud did nothing for him. Like that stuff was just, it felt like this is the final boss right here. This is when, The Rock is the final boss, but Cody, Roman has the vibe of that.
Yeah. He needs to always be like, he doesn't need to be the champion to be relevant, but he needs to be at least floating in the title picture. Like he needs to be
like the year before the CM Punk feud was a little rough for Roman fans like yourself.
Oh yeah. Like I definitely was super disinterested. But now I like there's a couple things I want to say. Did you watch the post show?
I did. Yes.
So yes, Roman was last. He came out and said none of that part-time shit. You're going to see me more often. So that's a positive.
But what was the exact quote? Because I thought that was very telling. He said, "You're going to be seeing a lot of me this summer." That's what he said.
Yeah,
you're going to be seeing a lot of me this summer. Which I took as okay. You're going to drop the title at SummerSlam.
Nah,
I think so, Rocket. I think he's going to have a run till SummerSlam. When he said you'll be seeing a lot of me this summer, I was like, ooh, I didn't like that last part. I wanted you'll be seeing a lot more of me. And then he said this summer, and I was like, are you putting a cap on it? I don't know.
Maybe, but who knows? Who knows at the end of the day? But for this match, I don't have any critiques. I thought it was awesome. I agreed with you. The buildup was I thought that first face-to-face was like, oh wow, this is fucking great. But then it was kind of just like there was too much time. There didn't need to be kind of like when Triple H and The Undertaker, like they just came out and like looked at each other and then looked at the sign. That's all you needed. Like Punk and Roman, to your point earlier, that might be one of the last big matches that they can do. Like if they had just done like a fucking standoff and then look at the sign, like people would have been like, oh shit, we're getting it. Like we may not get Rock and Roman, but like as far as big matchups are concerned, like this is one of the biggest ones left. But I did see that there was like a graphic going around where it was like Brock Lesnar retires at 48, AJ Styles retires at 48, John Cena retires at 48, CM Punk, he is 47 years old. So
interesting. I don't think he's retiring next year, if we're being honest. I think he's got a couple more years in him. If he's wrestling main events like that.
Yeah. And it was
meanwhile, Rey Mysterio's 51 and taking fucking ladder bumps.
Yeah.
And he debuted 10 years before all those guys. Rey Mysterio debuted in the late 80s. It's crazy. Yeah. He is the like walking stem cell like salesman, basically. Like you see, what can stem cells do? Look at Rey Mysterio. They inject it into his knee every few months, and he's Rey Mysterio at 25 years old all of a sudden.
Yeah. I really enjoyed this match. And it is like that one to me, I will rewatch it. Like that's not one where it's like, all right, I agree. We can move on. Like that's a rewatchable match for me. I think Mark Henry said it's the best WrestleMania match since the first HBK Taker match, which is like the best one
WWE
of all time.
WWE match. He said best WWE match, which I'll pump the brakes on him a little bit there. There's been an amazing, like you're telling me that was better than like Punk Cena Money in the Bank. You're telling me that was better than every match in Daniel Bryan's WWE career. You're telling me that was better than, like there's a lot of, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn better than every one of those matches. I don't know about that. It was amazing though. I have no nitpicks. I am curious where they go with Roman now as champ, because he talked about Oba. Oba talked about him on the post show as well. And you've also got Gunther out there where it's like, these are two guys that Breaker as well. But the two main guys I feel like that should be built as like monsters and shouldn't lose anytime soon are Oba and Gunther. People are saying on Twitter, they're already like internally slated for feuds with Roman. I don't know if they should go out and lose to Roman right now. But like they're in a weird spot because I don't know if they should lose to anyone for the next couple of years. Like they're both in that spot where you can't diminish the rub they got from Lesnar and Cena respectively. So what do you do with them? They're both in like if I'm the booker, I don't know what the fuck to do with either.
Put them against each other, brother.
My brother said that where it's like you can get them together and that's like one of the last truly like old school Hoss matches, but you don't want either of them to lose right now. Who wins that feud? Do you just have them double suplex, ring collapses, and we'll move on?
I don't know what
they're like. We'll go our separate ways. Respect.
That's why I don't like the whole retirement bit with Gunther, because now it's like, what is he going to do? Just sit his ass on the sideline until someone wants to give up their career?
Yeah, he's just the guy that fights old people, which is another criticism. I do agree with this. When you're in a feud, the worst thing you could call your opponent is like old, because then it's like, oh, it's just less impressive that you beat them because you're saying that they're old and washed. So it's like, I didn't like when Roman brought that up, and that was the one thing that Punk couldn't stand. People said it was like when Cena got called the Yankees, and he was like, all right, you've said the worst things about me and my family, but not that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have become the New York Yankees.
And Cena and Danhausen had the bit night 2 that I really liked. I imagine this was probably polarizing. If you're not a Danhausen guy, you probably thought this is the biggest waste of time on a show with a lot of time wasted. If you are a Danhausen person like myself, I think it was just surreal to see Danhausen in the fucking ring over as ever with John Cena at WrestleMania. 2 months after he debuts to crickets at the Elimination Chamber. Booze. It was like booze, crickets, one of the worst debut reactions ever. It took him maybe 2 weeks to become one of the most over people in the roster through backstage segments alone. It's crazy how fast that he's become a top merch seller. All the kids want to be Danhausen. They want the Danhausen face paint. They're doing the "You Are Cursed" and they're all doing the friggin' hand signs. Like, what a success story that is.
Yeah, I love Danhausen. Loved him in AEW. Felt awful about his debut. I felt awful because I was like, man, I hope that he doesn't take this and be like, wow, that was, because people were comparing it to like the Shockmaster, and I'm like,
the gobbledygooker.
Yeah. I was like, that is like, just say you don't get it. And maybe that's what it was. It's like the people that were booing, and WWE did him no favors. Like, it should not 100%. Have been this thing that it's like, hey, it's this box and it's going to be this big thing. We're revealing it at a pay-per-view. People thought it was Jericho and like all this
leading
stuff.
into WrestleMania too.
Yeah, like the time it was, and yeah, like they put him in an awful spot. If he had just been like a surprise segment that they weren't hyping up, I think he gets a completely different reaction. What I think happened, in addition to that, them overhyping it, was that the people wanted something that it wasn't. They wanted Jericho. And these are WWE fans who probably don't watch or consume AEW at all. They didn't know who Danhausen was. Or maybe they just heard the name, like, really? Like, that's all we're getting? But the more you like consume Danhausen and the more you know about the guy behind Danhausen, then you're like, you know what? Fuck yeah, dude. Like this, he's just like us, you know? Like,
and it's so funny. Like, you're right that they didn't fully get it. I don't think the crowd, because when the little smoke puffs up and everyone's like, that was lame. It's like, well, yeah, that's the point. It's
Right.
supposed
It's
to be a little
supposed to
bit
be.
lame where he disappears and he's actually running to the back and the lights come on while he's running. Like they did a good job at quickly conditioning the audience to know that. And the more you learn about Danhausen and like the lore, if you want to call it that, behind his character, I think the funnier and better it gets, where he's been asking for a blimp for 10 years. As long as I've known Danhausen as a wrestler, he's been like, and one day I will have a blimp, the Blimphausen. And at WrestleMania, they have this blimp flying through everything. It was just like, are you kidding me? His first pitch when he got to WWE, he's like, listen, I've been talking about this blimp for a while. And they were like, fuck it, we'll get you a blimp. Like, that's so funny to me. The stuff with John Cenahausen, where he's like, and I have something I want to say to you. And then he's like, big fan, love everything you do. And he just looks at the camera and smiles like the hard cam. So fucking funny. I hope we get more and more and more of Danhausen. I wanted more of him and Cena like backstage. I thought he should have been almost like the host junior, where we got 10 segments with John Cena and Danhausen over the weekend.
Yeah, I knew immediately once they announced Cena as the host, I was like, man, I can't wait for the Cena Danhausen segment, and that's exactly what they gave us. Did not take a genius to know that.
Cole dropping midgets on the broadcast. That
loudly.
I didn't see that. He was like, "Oh, it's midgets."
Yeah, I thought we weren't allowed to say that anymore.
I didn't think so either. Now, Za has always said, yes, I approve, but that's just one guy. You know, it's
I said it on the air in 2022 when I was at DraftKings. I said it on one of their shows. Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have to edit that out." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What did I say?" And they were like, "The M word."
Yeah. Cole screamed it like it was the happiest Cole's been all weekend. He loved it.
Yeah, you learn and you grow, Bob. You learn and you grow.
Yeah. Overall, what would you say WrestleMania was? I said night 2 might have brought it up to like, if I thought night 1 was a C-, I thought night 2 might have brought it up overall to like a B- in my mind. Because when I think back to this year's WrestleMania, I'll probably think of mostly just the night 2 stuff, which was pretty good.
Yeah. So I think you kind of have to grade it as individual nights. Yeah. Like night 1.
Did you feel like it could have been one night this year? I know we're talking about matches not having enough time, and hindsight's 2020, but there was part of me where I was like, if you removed a lot of the commercials, obviously, and then maybe tacked an extra hour on, I feel like this is the first 2-night year where I was like, it could have been one, I think.
Yeah. Like I like the fact that, you know, people get WrestleMania time and WrestleMania pay that may, you know, could the match be like a take it or leave it match? But like, yeah, like I'm glad that they got time on the card. So like, yes, it could have been one night, but like I'm still in on the 2 nights. You're not gonna be able to crush it every single year. And there's also, you have to consider they had injuries going into Mania. Like this was not the intended card. You know, I'm glad that it led to Roman and Punk, because that match was incredible. But I think that we would have had a completely different WrestleMania had injuries not taken place. But yeah, I would say night 1 a D, only because I respect them going out there and putting their bodies on the line. I want to be like F, but it was not good. And then night 2, like an A-. Like I was pretty satisfied. Yeah. Like I was satisfied as a wrestling fan watching the quality of the matches. Like I think when we tune into the like this is like my main thing is being like a, you know, a mid-30s, now fucking late 30s wrestling fan, is that I'm used to the Royal Rumble having surprises and I'm used to WrestleMania having surprises. We haven't been getting that from either show. It's kind of just like, yeah, we'll tell you literally everyone who's going to be in the Rumble. We're just not going to tell you what order it's going to be in. I don't like that. And it's like, you know, I like the nostalgia entrance in the Rumble, and now it's like NXT entrance because we want to get them experience. And like it's like, okay, like I get it, but like I kind of want to see X-Pac in there.
It's so weird, the NXT thing too, where they'll call someone up for the Rumble, but then they wind up spending months in NXT. Like Sol Ruka was top 4 in the Rumble.
She'll be up tonight though. I guarantee we see her.
Yeah, tonight. I think so too. But it's just so strange that like if you're top 4 in the Rumble, it's like getting called up to the big leagues hitting a home run in your first at bat and then being like, all right, back down.
Yeah, you need
like,
some time.
Why'd you call me up?
Some more ABs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Like I get it. Like maybe like the next generation is like, oh yeah, like I love the Royal Rumble because you get to see NXT stars. And it's like, well, I used to see the Honky Tonk Man, okay, and it's I'd rather that be my way. And then yeah, like WrestleMania, there's like I think we were so spoiled with the finish of WrestleMania 40 that. We got that it was like getting the best BJ of your life, and you just like expect that every time now, and it's like, well, there's not like it's just not like that every time. It's okay, still good, it's just not that.
Did you see any of the non-WrestleMania stuff this weekend? The Sandman versus the Invisible Man, Brody Lee Jr. debut on Joey Janela's Spring Break, any of that?
I know you put that on my radar. I did not get around to it. No,
I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful train wreck of a spectacle. It was just, if you're not familiar, the Sandman from ECW had his final match this weekend against the Invisible Man. And it's exactly what it sounds like. He came out, and then the Invisible Man came out, and just fans are just looking at air going, fuck you, motherfucker. And then like they like follow the camera into the ring, and then Sandman's in there going, boom, and the crowd's going, yeah, and then he goes, oh, and they go, boo. The whole match, there was run-ins from Mick Foley, from Violent J from the Insane Clown Posse. There was a run-in from the Invisible Man's brother, who he has not gotten along with in a long time, the Invisible Stan. They wound up double teaming the Sandman. Sandman went out on his back as well. He put over the Invisible Man in his last match.
Wow.
So go on to, yeah, it was ridiculous. And that's what Joey Janela's Spring Break is every year. This was the 10th year where they've done it. And it's, listen, for the people that are like, it's exposing the business and whatever, you're never going to win those people over. It injects this insane amount of chaos into WrestleMania weekend, where some matches might be train wrecks. Some matches might be legitimately just awesome. The main event was Brody Lee Jr., 14 years old, making his debut against Joey Janela. And I know that's polarizing. People are like, kids shouldn't be wrestling. He's being trained by Tyson Kidd and Natalya in the Heart Dungeon, and they're going about it the right way. I kind of agree. Like, kids shouldn't be taking bumps. If you're going to do that, they've got the best support system in place for him. And it was a legitimately awesome match. Janela was bumping his ass off. Meltzer came out. He said he thinks Brody Lee Jr. is a better technical wrestler than half the people in NXT already. If he decides to stick with this and make it his career, by the time he's 20, he's going to be like the best wrestler in the world. He was playing to the crowd like you would think a 14-year-old in front of this huge sold-out crowd, first time ever doing this, is going to be a little nervous. He didn't look nervous at all. He's doing the fucking Sister Abigail, doing the kiss, playing to the crowd. Boom, spiking Janela on his head. It was awesome.
I have to see this now.
I'm going to send you the highlights. It's like, you're going to be shocked. The kid, he was shouting out MJF. He did the fucking, what do they call it? The heat-seeking missile or whatever, that like almost pile driver off the ropes that MJF does. He's like, hey, Max, this one's for you. Like, it was crazy how polished he was instantly. Crazy. But definitely, if you guys missed out on that stuff, it's worth going on Twitter and checking some of it out. There was a great match between, I think it was, who was it? It was two like old luchadors. One's like 70, 165. They fucking tore the house down this weekend. People were throwing money into the ring for him. I forget who it was, Blue Panther and someone, I think. Juventud Guerrero? No, not Juventud. I forget who it was, but there was definitely good stuff outside of just WWE this WrestleMania weekend. And Vegas isn't always the best city for that. I mean, fucking Riyadh isn't going to be the best city for it next year either. So for all the criticisms that were given this year about the vibe of WrestleMania, I can't imagine the vibe is going to be there for afternoon Mania next year.
What time is it going to start? Eastern?
I assume it's going to start at like noon or something. Yeah, like a lot of the Saudi, unless they do the thing they did for the last Saudi show where it was like 2 a.m. local time by the time it ended, and they set off a bunch of fireworks. It's like, you're setting off fireworks at 2 a.m? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Are they building in like another like 100,000 person stadium in 30 days for WrestleMania, or what are they doing with that?
I don't know. They might be doing it where they've done some of the ones in the past, because like, why did they ever abandon that? They had a totally fine working arena. They're like, we'll build one for the next one.
Yeah, they
wanted. Why you did that?
They wanted Royal Rumble Arena, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And they took it down after.
Took it right down. Yeah, that video Triple H too being like, awesome what they could do in a few days. It's like, well, they were doing some shady stuff to make sure that was able to happen in a few days as well.
Did they tell you how many people died building it and taking it apart?
Yeah. Crazy. This company, man. I'll tell you what, the wrestlers are doing their absolute best at every turn. There was nothing bad at the fault of the wrestlers this year. They were fighting an uphill battle against the build, the ads, the booking, the commercials, the ads, the commercials, the ads, the more ads, the commercials. And they wound up spitting out a pretty competent Mania when all is said and done. Like I didn't leave it being like worst WrestleMania ever, but you do have to clean up the ads next year. It can't be that extreme. It can't be.
4-minute
I swear to God, I'll tell Nick Khan the next time I see him in person. I see Nick Khan every now and then. I mentioned I saw him in Vegas. He was like, when are we getting you coming to more wrestling shows? And I was like, I come to wrestling shows all the time. He's like, are you coming to Mania this year? At that point, I told him yes, because I thought I would be going to Mania, and I didn't. If I see him next year or at any point this year, and he's like, how's it been? I'm going to be like, I need to sit you down. I know my word means nothing to you. We got to control the ads. We got to control the commercials.
We got to control the ads. And I got a pal up in Boston who has some great creative ideas.
Yeah. We're talking real good ideas, Nick. He's going to be like, all right, security, get this guy away from me. All right, Rocket. Thanks as always. Always fun doing breakdowns with you. I'm sure we'll have one in the near future for whatever the next show is. Maybe a Backlash one, maybe a SummerSlam one. I mean,
maybe
probably
something
both.
Crazy happens tonight and we need to react to it.
That would be great. I would love for the Raw after Mania to get back to that point where it's like, holy fuck, can you believe they did that right after WrestleMania? Who knows? Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys later.
See ya. Bye.